Yo, it's it's freaking Arms Day. Um, so yeah, back day was yesterday. I guess it must be Arms today. We're gonna get out of here, out of this parking lot. We're gonna go to the freaking gym. What, dude? I am freaking hyped right now. I think I'm glad that I have most of my tricep volume kind of shifted to chest day. I will say it takes away a little bit, just a little bit from the pump of triceps today because I can do it, right? I can get it done, especially being carved up and everything. But I guess I wish I had just a little bit more than 4 sets to adequately get a tricep pump in Arms Day. As far as biceps, we're hitting probably 5 sets there, so super solid, 5 or 6, I think. Yeah, because I barely hit them at other points throughout the week. I only hit biceps on Arms Day. Um, but so I'll hit like 6 sets. Yeah, that sounds about right. Um, yeah, maybe I'll add a little bit. Maybe I'll do a little bit more because if you double that, I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll see once I get in there. Whatever gets me an adequate bicep pump, you know what I mean? And if I need to add some, I'll probably add it to a different day of the week. Yeah, that'll probably be what I end up doing. But as far as today, triceps, biceps, side delts. Good thing is that I put most of my side delt volume. I think I put like 4 or 5 sets on chest day, so that easily puts us in the territory of only having to do 4 sets. So arm day is a relatively short day, I would say, one of the shorter ones. But as far as today, yeah, that's probably what we'll end up doing. At least what we want for the adequate pump. So, yep, got my starter pack ready to go. Um, what else? What else, man? I gotta say, this is something interesting I was thinking of recently. I gotta say this, yeah. When you, I don't know how to say this. You need to know yourself, and you will get that. And I'm talking about working out, not like, not like know thyself, like some philosophy stuff. No, like you need to know your body and know what your body is trying to tell you when it comes to injuries. Fatigue is more likely as fatigue, um, and as far as pushing yourself as well. And you will only get to understand your body from my experience from pushing your limits to rediscover where they are, because they're not actually your limits. You have a perceived idea of where your limits are, and then you have actual idea of where your limits are. I think that if you push past your perceived limits, which I like to do every once in a while, then you realize what your body is actually capable of, and you can kind of see where you're at. That's kind of where you kind of gauge when things are too much. Not so far as to where you cause massive harm to yourself, but far enough to where you realize that, okay, I'm seeing detriment at this point. I'm seeing once we increase this enough, once we increase stimulus past a certain threshold, it becomes not helpful anymore. It becomes harmful. Or before we even get to harmful, you'll just see progression will stall. So when it comes to fatigue for me, I'm only really I have pushed myself to the point of fatigue in the past many times, where fatigue has stacked so much, like I didn't do a rest day for a month or something, pushing myself crazy hard on a caloric deficit and pushing myself to the point of like literally losing 4 or 5 reps on a 9 rep set. So I'd get like 4 reps on something I should get 9 reps on. That's a problem. And doing lower weight, like that's a huge problem. And that was across multiple days, right? So noticing those patterns over time, I kind of understood I don't even have to be in the gym to kind of realize if my body needs a rest day. I wake up first thing in the morning and I can automatically tell, okay, am I sore? or is this fatigue? Because I give myself 3 days to recover, 4 days technically. I give myself 3 full days to recover from a muscle group before hitting it again that fourth day, right? So if I hit chest, 4 days from that chest day, 1, 2, 3 chest. So I have 3 days of full-on rest in between the 2 chest days. That I have found is enough to fully recover from that. Now, here's what I'll say. If fatigue is stacking, a good indication of fatigue stacking or whatever, building up, is the night before my chest day, I'm still really sore. That shouldn't happen because my body is used to that stimulus. And the only reason why it wouldn't be used to that stimulus is if I'm getting bad sleep, bad hydration, not taking my vitamins, not getting all my meals in, or super stressed out, like insanely stressed out, for it to actually take a toll on my body. Or I haven't taken any rest days in like a month. And so those are the many ways that fatigue can kind of incorporate into your body. And you will literally know without having to go into the gym. As far as the way I structure my workouts, I mean, to put it simply, I know the structure of sets to muscles just because I know what can adequately get me pumped and at the same time will keep me under 17 or 18 sets per week, per 8 days in my case, for my rotation. That's pretty much it. So we're going to get in there. I don't know the weights exactly yet. I'm going to guess we're curling the 40s or the 45s. I don't know. I haven't looked at my notes because I log the weights, not the reps, but I just log the weights and whether or not I'm moving up in weight just to kind of make sure we got progression moving. So yeah, let's just cut to some bicep curls. Brothers, that was freaking arm day. Might I say, exquisite pump, my brethren. I will say something about that pump. I made a mistake. Not in the pump itself, but in my debrief of the workout. I was under the impression that this was going to be a lighter squeezing arm day, in which case on those days I have about 4 to 5 sets of side delts. Now today was not that. Today was more of a ego lifting grunt day. Otherwise I would not be curling the 45s. As you can see, we got a lot of swing action going on there. No, today was more of a grunt day, so we only had about, what do I want to say? 2 sets? That sounds right, if I remember properly. About 2 sets of cable lateral raises. Yeah. So, as you guys notice, I don't take rest days, but the number of working sets that I'm doing per workout, or per muscle group per workout, I should say, is never going above 9. Like, I think back day is the one exception because you kind of inadvertently train most of your back with most of the movements that I'm doing. So, like, most of your, like, you got your pull downs, your rows, your pullovers, like, even then, I think I'm still under like 9 sets because I do back twice a week. I'm training lats inadvertently through that, and lat focused. Like, I'm fully lat focused. I'm training most of your back inadvertently. I would say, yeah, that makes about sense. Because the kind of key to muscle growth, in my opinion, well, there's many keys. I would say the key to volume in terms of sets is within a workout, train it twice a week, train your muscle groups twice a week, and within a singular workout, that volume should be about 8 or 9. Honestly, probably 9 in lacking areas, and then about 8 for regular stuff. Yeah, because that'll work out naturally to like 16 per week. Now, where I like to get funky with it is my bicep, my arm days. I kind of switch up. I moved, some side delts to chest day, some triceps to chest day. Why do I do that? Because I don't want to do 9 sets of freaking biceps or triceps on a given day. That's just not, I don't want to do that. So what I will do is I'll do 7 sets of biceps on one arm day, and I'll do like 7 on the other arm day. That's because I only train biceps on those days. However, I will do triceps on chest days as well, because I like having a little bit of a tricep pump with my chest pump, if you feel me. So what I'll do, what are you doing? Sorry. People are not good at driving today. Goodness. What I'll do is I will I basically train triceps 4 days a week, but it's barely enough to get a pump, right? I only did 5 sets of triceps today, I want to say, which, if I do that every arm day, that's 10. And then if you do chest, I do like 4 sets on chest day, so that's 18. And triceps aren't a seriously lacking group, but I just want to push them up a little bit. So that's all because of where I'm at right now, like as a barely intermediate lifter. Like, you could say beginner. I would say, if you look at those dudes who freaking take steroids and stuff, like, those guys are like advanced. I would say I'm probably just entering the intermediate zone. So you can kind of learn with me as I'm going through this process if you watch these videos. And additionally, you can learn from me, because if you're a complete and total beginner, hopefully I can provide some information. That being said, if you are a complete and total beginner, you can ignore 99% of the volume stuff that I just talked about. mainly because you still need to focus on the fundamentals. And the fundamentals of lifting, of beginner lifting, and of muscle growth in general is get good sleep, optimize your nutrition. When I mean optimize, I'm not saying strive for perfection, but I'm saying get as close to getting in everything your body needs, not just everything your body wants. So I'm not telling you to go out and take B12 shots, right? Or like injectable pre-workout. But I am saying that you should be taking your vitamins. You should be taking a multi at least if you're just a human that exists. I think every human should be taking their fish oils, your vitamin D, because even though I live in California, I'm vitamin D deficient. Crazy, right? Most people are vitamin D deficient. I would say you should be getting in plenty of vitamin C. I would say have some magnesium glycinate if you want help with sleep. I would say, those are pretty much your bases. Zinc. I do zinc just because of my immune system is not amazing, but also as a precaution because I got sick like 5 times last semester. But I got sick 0 times this semester because I don't know if it was because I was taking zinc, but I was taking zinc. I happened to be taking zinc, so I don't know if it's an attributing factor. But back to the fundamentals. So optimize your nutrition, right? Do your cardio. I have a bike at home. I have a little, cardio bike at home. I'm doing 30 minutes every single day. Second I wake up, boom, on the cardio bike. You can scroll in bed for the first 30 minutes that you wake up. You can scroll on the cardio bike. It makes no difference. Just do it out of habit, and then you don't even realize you just did cardio. You're just like, oh, I'm awake now, and I'm just like ready. I didn't sweat too hard, but like I lost 300 calories. Like you get into the rhythm of it. Like taking your creatine as well. Do that. Take your creatine. Even if you're not someone that works out, creatine is known to have great health benefits for your brain and for your muscles and for your bones in terms of bone density. Okay. Next thing. If you're trying to gain or lose weight, I would either track your weight and log your weight first thing you do when you wake up so you never forget to do it. That's what I do. I literally stand up, I go to the bathroom, I weigh myself, write it down on a piece of paper that I keep right next to the toilet, and then I go about my day. It's super fast, super easy. And you don't have to do that, right? Like, don't, like, that could be dangerous, goodness. That could be dangerous only if you become hyper-focused on the scale on the day-to-day. You have to be able to detach completely from those numbers and just be able to, like, what I do, I plug it into a spreadsheet, and you can see the trend line of whether you want it to go up or down, and you can kind of see that progress over weeks and months. Because it's really not the day-to-day that matters, it's the weeks and months that matters. If I'm at the same weight for probably 2 weeks and I'm trying to be in a surplus and I think I'm in a surplus, then if I'm not seeing changes, I feel like there's something that's not wrong or something that is wrong with my methodology. In addition to that, I would say track your macros. Just literally track your macros. If you're not tracking your macros, track your protein. Tracking your protein is the most important thing ever. If you want to build muscle, you have to track your protein. I would say get at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. 1 gram per pound of body weight. Simple as that. And at least track your protein. Like, please. If you get nothing else from this, track your protein and train hard in the gym. Intensity is super huge. And then, in addition to protein tracking, if you want, I would say track your macros. I think it's really beneficial. I was putting on massive amounts of fat when I was still in a 500 calorie surplus. Right now I'm in a 500 calorie surplus and I'm way leaner than I was 6 months ago on my last bulk. Why? On my last growth phase. Because I was getting 120 grams of fat every day. I was ordering like Indian takeout every day for lunch, and I thought that was healthy because it had 50 grams of protein in it. That's not good because it has 50, 60 grams of fat. So that's not good for you at all as a habit. So tracking your fat and tracking your carbs. You might not realize how many carbs you're getting in and how many carbs your body needs to adequately build muscle. I have to get in 450 grams of carbs per day right now. I would say you probably need more carbs. If you're an avid weightlifter, you need more carbs than you realize. And that's another important thing. So carbs, you need more than you realize. Fat, you eat more than you realize. Like you're eating more than you realize, so you should be eating less. I would say for fat, I do about 60 to 70 right now. At just basically like a third of your body weight. pretty much, and then protein, a gram per pound of body weight. Protein is hard to get in. I don't think you need to be tricking yourself into these like protein, weight loss kind of diet hacks, like protein cereal or something. I don't think you need to do that. It's not necessary because they upcharge that stuff like crazy. Like, unless you're rich or you make a decent living, you don't need to pay too much for those like protein plus stuff. It's not really necessary. Diet soda, I love diet soda. It's super smart. You drink a lot of it when you're cutting because it's just a good sweet treat to have. There were times when I would wake up from the cut and I was in a 600, 700 calorie deficit. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and chug a diet soda because I was like so hungry. I was like, I'm going to eat a Rice Krispie, I swear. But that wasn't good. So, what else? I think that's it. I think we covered basically all of it. This is a way longer yap than normal. So I'm going to put in the title, in case you guys probably saw it in the title already, but I just had the idea that I'll put in the title something like how to build muscle, tips how to build muscle, something like that, so that you guys know that this section is extra long. But yeah, that was pretty much it for Arms Day. Tomorrow, I don't know. My back is feeling a little funky. I just don't know if I want to take a rest day tomorrow. It's been almost 2 weeks. It's been 3 cycles of the 4 days. So it's been almost 2 weeks. I might take a rest day just because of my back, because I want to deadlift and I want to squat. And if I think tomorrow morning that if I give myself a rest day, I can get squat the following day, like if I think taking a rest day will allow me to squat and deadlift the next day, I'm going to do that. But yeah, we'll see. I do believe in listening to your body. I said something like that in the intro. But that's it for me. Yeah. If I don't upload legs tomorrow night, then it'll be the following. See ya.